Salvation Army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And the message coming from my eyes says, leave it alone. Don't wanna hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it. From the Queen of England to the hounds of hell. And if I catch it coming back my way, I'm gonna serve it to you. And that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what I'll do.
Hello. How is everybody doing? It's a Severance Saturday, y'all. We are here to talk season 2, episode 5 of Severance. I say we because my girl is here. Ashley, how are you doing?
Girl, I'm doing good. Better than I was last night. Doing much, much better. Feeling good. Ready to get into I'm ready to talk about it. I'll just set it right there, Tyra. I'm ready.
Well, y'all already know. Ashley, maybe I want to know what she was gonna say. We got to get into it because I want to know. I want to know about. Feelings about about the show. But before we get into that, make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, getting this video pushed out to people who might love Severance conversations just as much as the next person. Leave your commentary in the chat. And of course, if you would like to, leave us a super chat, letting us know what you think about the show, or just letting us know how much you love us. That's always a good enough reason. But diving on in it, Ashley, I'm going to come to you first. I'm going to come to Ashley first. What were your overall thoughts of this episode?
Not you got the melon head Irving up there. Girl, find something to do. I said, what in the world are we doing with the melons? And they did that quick. They got that whipped up quick. They said, I want a funeral. We're going to whip up some melon heads. Overall, this was not my favorite episode. It didn't really, to me, move the story much further. I mean, we got a couple of things towards the end as far as Mark's reintegration, of course, Bert and Irving meeting. But I think for this, what was this, episode 5?
Yeah.
To be episode 5, I think we need to be working a little bit more towards Cold Harbor. Not him just working the numbers and tapping into the file. Show us something. Give me something to hold on to and dream for. I know it doesn't have to be the most climactic, but I did expect more coming off of last week's episode.
Yeah, with a show like Severance, I don't think we get no Cold Harbor this season. I think Cold Harbor Defcon 4 is probably like, season 4. Okay. We're going to be doing everything but getting there. We're probably going to be working towards a takedown for what it looks like, or getting the Gemma, but I don't think we're getting anywhere near Cold Harbor before the season is out. If we do, I'm going to be really pleasantly surprised. RIP to Innie Irving. Had to put the melon here. I want to know why they have an endless supply of melon. That's what I want to know. Where are the bodies buried?
I wouldn't eat that melon. I would not eat that melon. We don't know what's fertilizing the soil that those melons are growing in. I don't trust it, Tyra.
This episode was another one of those ones where I had to watch. I watched this episode 2.5 times to get these slots together, because I was like, I'm leaving here with something, okay? It has to be something more worthy than just 3 to 4 slides of what happened here. And doing a little digging, I found more for the episode than I maybe had upon the first time watch, because this is a, maybe hidden in plain sight. Oh, so that's what that was. I was like, oh, this for them Easter egg people. But getting into the first thing here. Okay, the mysterious man from exports, dentistry and hallway tombs. Is exports guy severed? Now, we had him spoken on by Felicia a couple episodes ago when she was speaking to Irving, and this is the guy who comes and collects all the things, and while we can't go down there to the hallway anymore. But he doesn't just collect, art. He came down here for some dental work utensils. I was like, okay, so I don't know what that's supposed to represent, but I'm just gonna take it as the people that are down there, they are still being kept well. That's what I took from it. They're not just down there being treated like savages, fending for themselves. They didn't go to hell. I don't know what's down there beyond the gates. Um, they're being well taken care of, because who would we be using these utensils on? We're clearly taking care of somebody's teeth. That's all I got from that. Um, I asked, was this man severed or not? Because with him easing his way down the hallway, he was whistling some music. I ain't heard nobody whistle down there. And if we know nothing about these severed folks in this department, they don't have access to things like music or books or TV or anything outside of the norm of Lumen. So where would he have heard some music to whistle it if he wasn't from the outside? Ashley, what did you think about the mystery exports man? Because we didn't see his face.
Child, I didn't know, because the way that he came down there, and it seems like, and again, they keep talking about the severed floor, meaning everyone on that specific floor is severed, but what's on the other floors? Are those people not severed then? And then, like, I'm like, if Milchick is there and he's clearly not severed, there could be the possibility or potentiality that some of these other people that we see aren't either. Now, when we get into this room, it honestly felt like a morgue to me. I said, the drawers are big, they're heavy. I was scared when she opened up that drawer. I said, what's going to be in it, Jesus? And then when we saw the supplies, I said, is he about to perform? Is he the transpo and the dentist? But yeah, who is this man? I don't know this man. Sorry to this man. But I don't think he's severed. And I think we're going to find that we'll have a more of a mixture of the people, especially depending on what their roles are, right? I think if they're not directly related to a specific project, then they're not necessarily severed. But I don't know. It's very interesting because we know Lumen's whole goal is basically to sever the world. So we know that there's a good population of them. But you're right. I didn't even pay attention to that man humming no ditty as he was walking out with those supplies. And then as far as the people in the eternal darkness or in the basement, whatever they are, they're either doing that, like their regular hygienic maintenance, or this is a form of torture. I don't know what these people do. I think they do and conduct all kinds of experiments. So I don't know if it's related to that, or if it's like you said, this is just part of their upkeep.
Yeah, I had to watch it a couple of times. This is what I learned with this show. Anytime somebody's walking down a singular white hallway for an extended period of time, just run it back and just look at what they were doing. Even if it was something minuscule and looked like it didn't matter, it matters somewhere. I was like, what is he? Okay, pushing a cart. Okay, AV kid. Okay, it's not the cart. He's whistling a song in the hole. And y'all know that could have been nothing, but I know how Felicia straightened up when he came down here. I was like, oh, who is it? For a minute, I was like, Bert? I was like, no, it's not Bert.
At first, I thought that too. I was like, I know they didn't reintroduce him. He didn't come back. I know it.
But we get here. The process isn't finished. I know the first time that we got into the reintegration, we were like, that's it. We just blinked and, that's that. And I think that following episode, we were just waiting for Mark to be outing Mark. But we see here that it's something totally different. I don't know if old Pete went through the same process, but I was like, sir, what are you drinking? It looked like something. I don't want to say what it looked like. But I said, what is that? He's not only drinking this formula, but he's taking these pills, this regimen, all the way down to the point of Ragabi living in the basement. She's still down there. This is a full process to be reintegrated. It's not something that was going to happen overnight. But unlike old friend who went on to glory in front of the gas station, he's coughing. I was like, that can't be a good thing. That can't be a good thing if the process is just so easy and we kind of got it down packed now. His cough was kind of magnified this episode, and he was coughing as well as the innies. So I was like, is that good or bad? We just don't know. But Ashley, what were you thinking about this regiment here and how Ragabi was like, no, we got to take these meds and also kind of retrace your memories, kind of get a little bit of Gemma in there to have your Audi and Innie intertwine. It's not a quick process.
You said it. You said it, Tyra, that you ain't trust Ragabi. And I said not during Black History Month. I said no, Ragabi's on the up and up. This is our sister from another mister, and she is going to be doing the right things. When I watched her in this most recent episode, I said, "Oh, this heifer's she doing something," because the cough was sinister. The cough sounds like a ragged breath, and he's on his way out. The cough sounds like sickness and disease. I don't think this went right. I think Ragabi was playing in his face when she said that the process is now, so much better. I've improved upon it. Because here's my thing: who are your test patients? Who of your test patients are still alive, or who are the ones that have successfully be reintegrated? Girl, you got to give me some tea. And then furthermore, it was the audacity for me, because you're living in his house and complaining about his dryer. Girl, if you don't hang up a line down there up in the basement and hang up your unmentionables, Ragabi's got all of the audacity. As far as Mark and his reintegration, I hate the glitching. I hate the glitches, but it does seem when we see him finally get out of that elevator and come back up into the MDR unit, he's reintegrated to a certain point, but I still think he'll be glitching. I don't think this process is right still. And it looked like he was drinking spinal fluid. I didn't like it. It was thick. It was chunky. There were little things in it. This regimen is intense, especially when we can tell he's sick. He don't look right.
I don't think she's had, many test subjects, because there was never anybody forward facing to go where this happened to, Pete, but we got it right with this person. And you have somebody walking into your face saying, it was an improvement. Like, Mark didn't do any homework. He just, kind of jumped at the aspect of Gemma being alive and kind of dived into it. And I'm not saying she has complete evil intent, but these are your test subjects. What are you going to do if this goes wrong and he's not okay? Who is backing you? Like, I want to know that. Who's backing Renesmee?
Because is she being funded? How is she coming up with was she able to actually take things out of Lumen? How did she even come up with this construct? Like, I don't know. We need more information about Ragabi.
I don't know, but she's down here. I think she's just here to watch him closely, because it was like, well, with Pete, I thought it was whatever that time, and I let him go too soon. Let me stay here and keep as close an eye as possible on Mark. But that's what she said, because there just wasn't enough information for me when she was like, well, he didn't do it right. Like, what didn't he do? I don't know. We're going to see. But that cough was pretty nasty this episode. Oh, the enemies might as well be. The innies are, effing animals. Like, you was out there effing like an animal.
It sure was.
Woods, Helly. They weren't animals then when you was getting your rocks off in the tent. But they told her, go on, sit down, baby. Go on, sit down. Take a little second for yourself. This is a second attempt on your life. we don't need this drama, okay? You go ahead and sit down, and we're gonna, rightfully leave Helly where she is. And she gives a little pushback, says her little 2 cents, and of course we're not gonna mention all that we did while we were in there, like sleeping with Mark. But I want to know, Ashley, what do you think Helly is going to be doing in the meantime, in between time, while she's on the outside?
Baby, she's not going to be out for long. This whole meeting is about her going back and reassuming her role as an innie, right? Taking over this Glasgow block. She'll be back in there, and I think she's petrified. Hence the innies are effing animals. My own innie tried to take me out. Then Irving tried to drown me. Like, what's next? Y'all want me to die? Like, that's how I think that's where Helena is at. In there, as would I be. And this older Ricken guy, I don't know. He reminds me so much of Ricken. And after we saw Dylan in his older version, I wouldn't be surprised if this is some sort of recreation clone of like an older Ricken with this strange voice who seems to be more in the know than Helena. I actually enjoyed this back and forth, and I'm really enjoying the actress who's playing Helly and Helena. I think she's doing a great job here. But also we're seeing this disconnect where she thinks she's in power, but she's really not. Like your dad's not even communicating with you. She's like, my dad approved this. Yeah, it was his idea. But no, I think she won't be on the outside long. I think she's done as much as she is allowed to do out there. I think the mission is to get her on the inside. Like they said, he's 81% done. I'm assuming that's with Cold Harbor.
Yeah.
Unless they know about his reintegration. Something tells me that Ragabi is working still for somebody on the inside. I think Mark is like Vic says that he is Cold Harbor. I don't know if he is, but he is patient zero. He is a test subject in some way. And I don't know if that's about reintegration. I don't know if that's strictly about the innie outie thing or Cold Harbor. But she's got work to do as an innie. They're going to put her back. They're going to put her back. And I think she'll die next time. They'll take her. They'll kill her.
But then what does that mean for Hilly? We don't need her. I mean, we want Hilly to be alive. Maybe not so. Maybe, metaphorically, this version of Hilly will die. And then we'll just have any Hilly. Because the way they just split it down the middle to where it sounds like they're talking about two different people. You would think that they were like doppelgangers and it was somebody's body. Like, no, we're just still talking about consciousness. But she still has not said, like, I'm still not sure if she was supposed to go in there and sleep with him, or is that just something that she did on her own accord?
Did you hear something that Milchick said towards the end of the episode about her being our maid in waiting, our lady in waiting or something? I think that this was by design. I don't think she just screwed Mark just because. I think she was ovulating. They booked that occurrence, that wilderness occurrence, and I think she's pregnant. I think Helly's pregnant.
Yeah, I think she's pregnant. But were you supposed to get pregnant?
Because I think so.
We haven't said. I just be wanting to confirm stuff like the seed has been fertilized or something. I don't know. So we can be for sure. But when she called them, savages in there, it sounded like some kind of superiority. Like, they're just like, they couldn't have been two savages. You slept with one, and you were living your best life. You would jump at the opportunity to get back in there and get back on Mark, even though that sex scene wasn't hitting on nothing.
It wasn't at all. But I really think that whatever spawn she's going to give birth to is supposed to be the future of Lumen. Like, it's supposed to be representing, I don't know if like the second coming, a Messiah of some sort, but I do think that it's significant. Like, whatever thing she's going to give birth to, because I don't know what this is going to be.
If they stick to what I was thinking, that when we had that episode before and they were talking about what is that man name? What is the Lumen man name?
Kier,
yes. I was going to say Kiera. Yeah, I'm tired. Kier, and the whole thing with the twin, was it an actual twin or just his conscience, like metaphorically? If it's an actual twin and he's a descendant in some way of this twin, and we're kind of bringing.
Oh Lord!
Hey, I'm just look. This is.
It could be.
We could throw stuff at the wall.
Listen, and it could be true.
I still don't put it past them to be related in some way, like, because it's just odd why they have so much stock in him. If he was just a normal, regular person, it wouldn't matter. If he was a part of the bloodline, that would make it, y'all. I don't know. Just I'll be trying to piece stuff together, but we have this Hilly, and then we have this Hilly child. So you didn't know that wasn't me. Really? I thought we were better than that. You couldn't tell that wasn't really me, Mark. we have Audi Hilly here. She is really not only getting informed of all the things she's missed, because she really wanted to know, baby, why was Irving trying to drown me? The last thing she remembers is probably kissing Mark before she jumped in that elevator. Oh no, the speech that she was trying to give on stage before she was tackled down. But we inform her of that, and she gets acquainted with this new Mark. We're gonna get into new a-hole Mark, because Mark was tripping this episode. We kind of lean into assault here. This has been lingering since the previous episode, when we have Mark say a whole lot in this episode, but he neglects to say, I slept with you. Well, the the Audi version of you, because she's really most upset at the fact that her privacy or her space was invaded, even though it is, still her in the Audi Hilly. This is my space. Like, why would you do these certain things against my will? And I'm here acting out of character, being a mole. If she was so bothered by that, how is she going to feel when she finds out that Mark slept with her? I'm like, are we trying to get? Because they were like, especially when we have Milchick going the elevator towards the end, like, does she know that you hit it from the back in the tent? I was like, oh, okay.
That was ridiculous.
I'm just like, well, why, Mark, why wouldn't you say it? It's like it's not like you did something on purpose or you willfully did this and you thought, naturally this was Hilly. There was an attraction and some communication, some type of romanticism with you guys before. It wasn't in that way. The way they're presented it here is always with a hint of against some will, because it wasn't Hilly, it was Audi Hilly. Ashley,
this is so weird, and I saw it in a couple of Reddits or whatever, in online. Oh, this is a major issue of consent, and this is something that we need to talk about. It's so important because it was against Mark's consent, because he didn't know that this was the Audi and not the innie, and it was also against innie Helly's consent because Lord, it's the same body, the same face, damn it. Who can decipher between consciousnesses, especially when one is being a mole? Like, what in the world? I mean, I get it, but I don't know. I can't take it too seriously as it relates to this, because I'm thinking in my mind, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? Like, not just for the show, but like as a culture and as a people, when you start talking about moving consciousness and we think about AI and we think about all of these ideas around what's consent and like bodily autonomy, this gets very strange very quickly. And so I'm like, and I don't know why they're painting it as such. Girl, because you're innie and you're outie, or Helly. Helly, you're just a wild woman on the loose. I would say that because both of the parties there out in the wilderness in that tent were willing, I don't think consent's an issue. Y'all both did it. Now, the invasion of the body snatcher situation, Helly, that's something you'll have to take up with your outie. And I don't know, can the two ever meet? Can the twain ever meet? Can you ever meet your outie and innie?
if they can put, like I said, them baby goats, those old cured family bloodline consciousness are over there being breeded in them goats. I don't care what nobody says. They're over there smeltering until they're ready to be maybe placed over to Miss Han or somebody. I don't know. Miss Wan, maybe. I don't know. If we can do that, then maybe we can. I don't know.
I'd be here for that. Let's talk to a goat. Let your innie outie talk to each other. Let it be that, because I need these two to communicate, because Irving found a way to communicate with his outie, but it was through his art, right? So I mean, but I almost want a face to face situation. I don't know how they would do it, but
I just didn't understand why we would get here and have Mark internalize it as something negative, even though we know he's going through the motions this episode and I was lied to and betrayed and who can I trust. Why wouldn't he just say it, and why leave an opportunity for Milkshake to hold that over your head later? Like, does she know that you will?
Did you hear Milchick with the words? We dropping F bombs? I said Milchick.
He mad. I already told y'all after last episode. He's gonna be mad when they bring back Harmony. That's when the mess gonna hit the fan. Okay, I'm waiting on that, because Milkshake already. Milkshake stay hanging on by a thread. But I just had to put it in there because they're kind of presenting it as, like it was without my consent. It was Hilly, but it wasn't Hilly. Okay. Hang in there. And where's Irving? Now we want to stand on business, Dylan. Now we want to. Baby, I love when Dylan gets mad, but them glasses be about right here. Like them glasses be like you can't see if your glasses are here, Dylan. Like push them damn glasses up. But yeah, we having a well. I was like, this is too late. It's too late for that smoke. But even though he's trying to, have backing now and be there for Irving, it's over. He's like, we don't want no damn bereavement ceremony. We're not
We
having no
want a
little
funeral.
celebration. We want a funeral. I want to, go out of here probably and represent for my friend. And like we already knew, Milkshake had to hold it over his head real quick. Don't get cute, okay? I'll take away them privileges real quick. You won't be able to see them kids or that wife. But we have Dylan going through the motions this episode. Clearly, I was like, y'all had to Photoshop Irving out of the because I noticed I was like, oh, his desk is gone. Okay, naturally, but it was really like it's going to be like he never existed here. Y'all cropped him out of the photo on the desk and replaced it. So petty, Lumen. But on the mission of hanging in there, no pun intended, the art on the wall hanging there, the map is back there pretty much. Now, we have this way to the severed floor and whatnot, and of course Urban was sure to leave this, but the messaging on the back, once I snapped like and zoomed in, it's directions on how to actually get there. That means Felicia helped y'all. Old people ain't all bad, Ashley.
I didn't know. I thought she might have been suspect.
I was like, oh, okay, Irving. I was like, well, Irving wouldn't have known how to actually get there. He could have only gotten that information when he was sitting there talking to Felicia. We just didn't see it happen. But Ashley, what do you think about Dylan trying to stand on business this episode? These directions, are he gonna is he gonna follow them? Like, are the rest of the crew gonna join in, or is he gonna be out here alone on this mission? What's gonna happen here?
He said, lonely on that ledge, Miss Watson. Out there all alone on that ledge, Miss Watson. No, Dylan, it's too little too late for me, but I think because of the guilt that he feels around Irving being gone, he will do whatever he can. But then there's still this looming thing, right? Because he literally makes a deal with the devil very early this season, that he'll get these privileges. And did you notice the side eye? When Milchick mentions that, Mark and Helly are like, what privileges you got? And but no, but I do think that he will do whatever to kind of, I guess, remember Irving in this moment, because the way he was getting crunk, I want this. Where is he? Is he gonna be back? I'm like, okay, Dylan, you got a lot of chutzpah. So yeah, he feels super guilty. I should have believed you, Irving. I should have been there. This never would have happened if I would have just listened and did what you asked me to before. As far as the rest of the team, Mark's not going for it. Did y'all notice? Like, Mark was so cold. He really was cold this episode, even around the funeral. Yeah, that's fine as long as it's quick.
Quick,
Just
hurry up.
snappy. So I think Dylan will be out all alone on this edge. Maybe Helly would jump in temporarily, but y'all know I think Helena will be taking over her body momentarily. So I don't think that'll last. I don't know. It almost feels like this is going to be imminent doom for Dylan, and I hate to say that because I like his character, but I do. I think he's going to go balls to the wall, and he's going to try to follow those instructions. I just don't know if it's going to serve him well. He might get on a long cruise as well. He might be over there with Irvin.
I don't know. I think some solidarity was shown and some boldness because I didn't think Felicia was gonna give them anything. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't want nothing to do with that. Like, I'm not getting in trouble because the departments are like really embedded in being secluded. So her doing that just kind of showed like they are open. And even like them looking in fear when the man came down there with the cart to get the dentistry stuff, it was just like head down, like and the way that those people looked in that field, them zombies that was over there with the cattle, those people who were over there just looking like they were being worked harder than ever. And I feel like it's gonna be like a little piece of uprising.
Like an insurrection?
if these people band together, because they work so hard to like lift up your shirts, they do have belly buttons, like just to keep them divide and make them fear each other. If people start working together and they're not just relying on each other, some stuff could shake. Like y'all can't control everybody.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, like if you're right and grandma down there in the basement helped, and we know Brienne of Tarth down there, the shepherdess woman, she helped as well ultimately. They were like, "No, I like Gemma. Gemma told me that I was a stargazer," you know. And so you're right. If we can dispel some of those myths and there can be some sort of communication, it'd be dangerous for Lumen. But it makes me think Lumen will never let it get to that point. Like they're always two steps ahead. I don't know what this means. Would they ever get lax again, knowing what the team has done before? Or are they just biding their time until he's finished with Cold Harbor? Talking about it's 81%. Only got, you know?
Could be, could be, but I was like, all right, Felicia, girl, look at you doing something, because I thought she was gonna say I don't want nothing to do with that. It's because these people are already, like you said, popping out. She's like, we were told if y'all come on down here asking us about anything, that we're supposed to report you. And it's like, you know what? If it's for Gemma, we can tell you something. But speaking of bereavement situations in Cold Harbor, this caught my eye with them getting ready for Irving's bereavement. We got these mugs here. It's set for everybody, set for anybody who gets into a bereavement situation. But I'm like, if he is the end all to be all and this is the Cold Harbor, why would his mug be here just in case he dies and we need to bereave him at all? Everybody's is here. Is this like the end all to be all, or like how it made me think of the last episode when Milchick was giving the tape and he was telling them about the voyage and they had on their Russian fur. And he was like describing the land, and it was like, oh, it's all barren and it's hot and this, and it was like, it's cold as hell here. Mm-hmm. So this is an old tape. Like, how many 4 tempers have you guys sent out here? Like, is this the end all to be all, or is this just another attempt that might fail? Why are there mugs here? Not their mugs per se, but why is Mark's here?
I think that once cold, okay, so here's my theory as far as MDR and whatever data, whatever, micro data. I don't necessarily think that they're intended to last forever. I think each team probably has a project or a mission. I think once his mission is completed, I think he's expendable, just like the rest of them. And they might even kill him because, listen, what happened to the other MDR hires?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that they're replaced every cycle, but I don't know how long this cycle is. If I'm looking at these mugs, these people look older. This doesn't look like a present day Mark with this chunkiness in his face. Helly and Dylan looks older, gruffer. I don't know, but it could just be me. But yeah, I think once Cold Harbor is done, they might be expendable. I mean, I don't think Mark means that much. His job is either Cold Harbor, or it could be twofold. It could be Cold Harbor and being the baby daddy. Those could have been his 2 missions. I don't think he's needed after that.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering. I don't know how many times I had to go back and freeze frame for this. Because it kept going so quick. I was like, I want to get all 3 of them in there. So I was really trying. I was like, something happened here. This is one of these episodes where you got to really dig. Now, maybe we'll have time, Mark. Okay, we do not have time. I really was liking Innie Mark grew on me with this crossover and him being so cold and mean. I was like, this would be a instantaneous reintegration. Why is he acting like this? He's acting real blah like Audi Mark. But I was like, oh, this isn't Audi Mark. This is just Innie Mark being fed up with the situation. He just mad now. You got an attitude right now. We trying to bereave Irving, and you have an attitude like it's like, well, he's not dead. He's just gone. I was like, you're just so rude. When he tells them like, yeah, fine, like, just make it quick, make this little funeral quick, and we just kind of have him interacting mostly with Helly this episode. Like, regardless of what you experience with my Audi, this is still me, and I still pretty much had real intentions and emotions and stock and love for you in that way, regardless of what, she came in here and did or said or told you. But Mark is just not only trying to be bothered with her. It was like, yeah, and Gemma, it's like, I don't want to hear anything about that either. I was like, wow, wow. All right. He said he don't want to hear nothing about nothing, and he fed up. Are you hearing from Mark and his stank attitude?
No, I hate it. Mark got some coochie and don't know how to act now. Like, is this what happens to any Mark when he gets the coot nanny, or does Helena have rotten cat? Like, I want to know. He shouldn't be this bitter and nasty after all of this is said and done. Or maybe he's mad at the fact that it wasn't Helly, but Helena who got the D. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think Mark, I think this has always been Mark. And I think as he's merging, and while he's not fully reintegrated at this point in the episode, I think we're starting to see Audi Mark pop up. Because any Mark doesn't act like this. He has a completely different spirit and energy. This is the same any Mark that a couple of episodes ago was fighting for these three people to be back in MDR. No, I don't want no new group. And if you want me to work here, you're going to bring them back. Now you don't give a damn, Mark? Yeah, no, I think this is product of the reintegration process, because Mark was just so odd, making the strange faces, looking sideways. Like, I was like, Mark, what are you doing? No, I wasn't here for it. Aggie as hell.
I just was trying to see. I was like, this is not this. We don't have time for you to be having an attitude, Mark. There's a lot at stake right here. But even with this, I was like, you are still, Innie is still in there. Why wouldn't you just say, Helly, I slept with your Audi while you were out. So we cannot, I just wouldn't leave any room for error, because we don't know how she's going to feel about it. But I'm hoping that she doesn't lay into him for it, because I thought it was you, and I thought it was consensual.
Yeah, I mean, she was the aggressor, damn it.
Speaking of getting it on in the tent, how does he know? I was like, you weren't nowhere to be found. I was like, does he know because Hilly told you? Getting back into was this her mission or not? This confirmed for me, like, okay, that had to have been your mission coming in here. You had to be coming in here to get impregnated by Mark. But I'm like, how does Milkshake know? Do you think he knows because Hilly told him, or he knows the plan ahead? And is this gonna, push Mark to say something? Because Milkshake is using this like, I'm gonna hold it over your head because old boy and them told me to snap y'all back into place because I'm being too nice.
I think so. I think this is twofold as well. I think Milchick knows a piece. I think he knows a little bit about a lot. As we can see, he is literally just the errand boy. He is the servant. They do not value Milchick. They give him just enough information to be dangerous. I feel like, I think they have cameras. I think they got cameras out there. I think they were monitoring her blood pressure, her heart rate. I think they knew when Helena was getting Bucky naked, and I also think that was part of the quest. Here's the thing with Milchick, though. This interaction comes after he meets with the big ones who are like, remember who these people are. Yeah. And what their purpose are, and you need to keep them in check. Mind you, him not knowing that they think he is the ultimate failure. And I think I think they know that this is going to be his response. Now, what any Audi Mark is going to do if Audi is going to remember this when he's fully integrated, I don't know. But it would behoove him to go in and have that conversation with Helly right now. Toot sweet. Don't wait. Don't make it messy, because Helly is not tied tight. And as long as it's Helly still in there, she might try to take you out.
She might. I just wanted to know. But yeah, him coming, it was all menacing. He put his hand in the elevator. Like, why you gotta get this close to Mark's face to be menacing, Milchick? He be laying into it. I really love the actors in this show. They really do a really, really great job. But taking a pause for the cause, y'all, it is Saturday. And on Saturday, every single Saturday night, we have our members only watch along. Given that it's Black History Month, we wanted to, watch some Black history on film. For me, this movie is Black History, and this is what we will be watching not too long following this live. If you would like to join us, please sign up and become a member of either my channel or Ashley's and join us in the Kiki because it's going to be a good time. We'll be right back. Vic said, I know don't nobody want to see my toes now. Like, ma'am. I'm sure your toes are okay, Vic. Put them up. But yes, y'all, please join us for Boomerang. If you would like to, we would absolutely love to have you. But leaving old milkshake here. Before we even have our meeting with them folks who told us kindly where to go, we take a moment here to try to have a moment with Natalie. Like, girl, did you know we were both minorities? I felt, in my spirit that you probably felt a way too when they showed you those same paintings trying to relate to you with this black version of Kier. Natalie, I know you felt the way. You want to talk, girl? I'm trying to confide. I need somebody to talk to. Natalie's like, right this way. I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into this. I want no parts. I gave you the wink and the gun when they gave it to you to tell you to act like you liked it, because if you don't, there might be some repercussions for you. But this little moment here, these little flicks of Milchick kind of having a revelation of his placement here and how important he might not be. And even when we get into his treatment or his tactics with the severed, it just shows looms of just light to where he might rebel. He might rebel. He might rebel. I can see it, even though he is consistently standing 10 toes down and is trying to be all for looming. It is always kind of overly bearing and menacing and getting in somebody's face. The fact that he is still kind of harboring on this and he thought enough about it to stop Natalie, or when they gave him the paintings in the first place, he ducked him off away because he didn't like it. What does this mean for me? Like, why would I enjoy this? What is going to be my placement here? How will I ever, be respected if this is how you look at me? And he looking for an ally in another, fellow black person. Ashley, do you think this means anything for Milkshake?
I think Milchick is on his way out. At this, and he don't even know it, which is the sad part. He thinks he's doing all of these things to get like masses approval, and Buki, it's never going to be that. They think you're a failure. Like they literally had a whole meeting about it. Yeah, Seth is just failing miserably. Everything he does is just a fail. This team that you can't seem to keep together, and I feel like Natalie is like, I'm gonna go along to get along. Like I know my role here. I know how dangerous these people are, and like I'm trying to give you sly warnings, but Seth, you're just not getting it. You're not quick on the uptake. I do think he will get to a breaking point. Like I think we'll see at some point Milchick go postal, for lack of a better word, especially after he sees that performance review, because the way that he's spazzing, I just think Seth, there's some disconnect. He thinks he's very smart. He thinks he's very, worthy of this role. He's seeking this validation, but even Miss Huang is checking him.
Yeah,
like,
wrong, baby.
I was like, well, damn. I was like, Milchick would never with Harmony. Like, What is this dynamic? So yeah, I think he knows he's on this slippery slope. I'm very interested to see what he goes, but I think the pressure is mounting. I think he got one more time. I think, and the team is going to do it, whether it be Dylan, whether it be somebody else. He's going to have his breaking point, and I can't wait to see it. But yeah, as far as finding a comrade in arms in Natalie, she's not going to be that for him.
We knew that.
She here to get that. She here to get that check and ease on down the road.
We knew that. I just was like, just the fact that he tried was surprising. Like, this is still on your mind. Like, you don't, it's not setting right with you, Milkshake. And it's okay to say that. Like, you're not comfortable here. And it's not made for you to be comfortable. If you could be undermined by the likes of Miss Wong and everybody else, like, they wouldn't be talking to Harmony like this.
That's what I said. He wouldn't dare talk to Miss Cobell like this.
I'm telling you, the breaking point, I just need, something better happen with Harmony, because he don't ever want to see her again. I wish I never met her. He gonna be on his Carl Thomas. He's like, oh, y'all bringing her back. If that happens, or if he is demoted and he's replaced, that's when the break is gonna happen. I think that's just gonna be when it's all falls apart. But stop! Why are you using big words? I was like, why is that a part of the review? Said stop using big words. You use too many. Remember that time we gave you that paperwork and you put the paperclip on the wrong side? I was like, what? But beyond that, all of these little crash dummy missions you've been trying to do with the group to gather them, they've all failed. Not only that, but we've lost a member, and Helly has had 2 attempts on her life since you've been promoted up. In spite of that, we're going to let you keep going. We're going to let you keep going, but in spite of you being an utter failure, we call him an utter failure. We need you to get back to the basics and tighten up. Like, you're being too lenient. You're being too kind. You're trying to treat them like normal people. These aren't people. Treat them like you're supposed to. Get on your lumen energy. Ashley, what did you think about this and just the disdain on his face when they told him you're an utter failure, because this matters to him so much?
Oh, it does. This is actually the first time in watching these episodes from either season where I really truly felt the satire come through. Because if you've ever worked in corporate, you know how they make employees feel, right? It could be any little thing, and that's the thing that's pushed. You're utter and complete failure. I really, really enjoyed this. I loved when he's looking through his performance review and the letters are huge, and it's like, you're taking too long to do this. Your words are too big. You're just messing everything up, Seth. I enjoyed this so much. This lit a new fire under him. Like I said, I think we're going to see the resurgence of a new Milchick in the way he's managing them, because now he knows all eyes on me and I'm an utter failure. So I have to get right in their good graces. So I think we'll see him doing the most. Like I said, that elevator scene got me, where he's cussing at Mark, talking about who he effing. Because what? So I'm just curious about what's going to be next and what other rabbits he's got in his hat, because Milchick didn't like this. He don't want another performance review like this. So he's going to do what needs to be done over there. And Daddy Ricken ready to lay it down. You know what you have to do. You know what you have to do, Milchick. You know what you got to do. But I'm here for these interactions because I really can't stand Seth. I really can't stand anything that he represents. He's middle management. You know what I mean? He's really not important. He's really not
middle management.
Yes, that's exactly what he is. Like, but I did enjoy these scenes. Kudos to the writer director of this episode, because I got it. I finally got the satire they say this show is.
The review was extremely petty. I was like, wow, the paperclip. But I can understand all of these crash dummy missions. Like, yeah, we need these people to get into place. Like, Harmony would never. We need you to tighten up. Speaking of tighten up, Miss Wong coming for that spot. I don't know if she's trying to get that spot, but when Dylan hops up and he's like, I want a funeral. And she's like, don't give them what they want.
What?
Don't give them any humanity or hope. They're not real people. Do what you're supposed to do. And he kind of has his little payback where he's like, okay, well, we want you to go over there on that little music machine, practice your song for the ceremony, and then when it's time for this funeral, you know what, never mind, you don't even get to play it, get out of my face. Like, I think she's a mandated reporter. I think she's I I do. Even if she's not and she's doing this for her own opportunity, I think she's like notating, like, yeah, I would never. But like, okay, yeah, yeah, board. I'm like, what's that? That wasn't the board, huh? That he got to see. Was that the board? Is the
No.
board real?
I don't know. I think it gives very much Oz. I think who is that man behind the
Behind the
curtain?
curtain?
Like, yes, I think it's one of them Egans. It's probably her daddy. Acting like there is this division of leadership and that there's a checks and balances system when we know this is not. This is complete totalitarian, rule of Lumen. There is one boss in my mind. I don't think there's a true board. I think there's one person that's calling all the
I
shots.
think there's a like mothership board, like Spaceship Enterprise, and somebody's just back there hitting buttons. I think, yeah, it might be the dad hitting buttons, but it's not a board of folks making sound decisions. But they have kind of this rift between the two, and it's like I it's confusing because we still don't know who she is or who she was.
You know
Oh,
she Mark's daughter. She Mark and Gemma's child, but she's a demon.
I said that like first episode, but we don't. Is she?
She is. That's all she can be. And I hope this little girl don't think she gonna get the top spot. Harmony's never gonna let that happen, baby girl. You're gonna be big mad. But it is odd that she's coming with all this disrespect this episode, which makes me think she's privy to something Seth's not. I think that they've either sold her a dream or told her, hey, he's on his way out. We need you to step in and be watching everything. She's definitely a snitch. She's definitely reporting back to someone, like I think you and Vic said in the comments. But yeah, I do. I think she Mark and Gemma Child. I think that's who she is.
I thought that too, but this episode where she's like, it kind of sounded like I've been there before, or I've somewhere. It felt like an older person speaking on something they had experienced. Like, that's a mistake. You wouldn't want to give them any hope or make them even feel like they could be real people. I've been there. Don't do that. That's a mistake. I was like, but if you're a child, you couldn't have been there unless and
It's probably their child's body, maybe with a different consciousness, which could be a thing.
the rabbit hole just keeps going.
Or, like I said, do people age in Lumen when they're severed?
I don't know. We don't know. What do we know? What do we know? We don't know, but just that this is no partnership. I think either she wants the spot or she's strictly there to watch his every step. But I'm like, why would we even need that? Lumen sees and hears all. We wouldn't need anybody to be there, watching or taking notations on what he's not doing. I just don't know what purpose she serves, but yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get some little payback. Go on and practice your little tunes. We don't need it for the ceremony. We don't even need that. You practice for nothing. See, not Milkshake being petty. But I can't wait to find out who she is. Hopefully we do before the season is out. That would be nice.
Would be.
Got Irving here. Guess who's coming to dinner? Irving is coming to dinner. We have Irving and Bert. It is never going to be a universe where I trust Christopher Walken. I'm just not. I'm just not. Christopher Walken has always had an air of sinister to him. It just seems like he's in on something that everybody isn't. I want to know who Irving is talking to on the phone. That's what I want to know. On this payphone, who is he talking to? We see him tear down all the paintings like I'm completely unsevered at this point. That's deaded, so I don't need to be trying to communicate through my paintings. That's done. Let me call someone and let them know. I'm like, who are you talking to? It can only be. I'm like, is it? What if he's talking to Harmony?
It ain't Harmony. I say Ragabi over Harmony.
Well, that's what I thought too. But I'm like, we've spent so much time thinking that Harmony was a villain, and it's like moments where it seems like she's genuinely trying to be close to Mark to save, or like I'm trying to work within the system to I just act like I'm this, total. Because I'm like, why do you need to be on the floor? I thought when they gave her the opportunity to get back into Lumen, that's all she could want because she is just devoted to Lumen. But it's like, no, I need to be at Lumen on that floor, still near Mark. Why do you need to be near Mark? Just being in there should be enough if you're that committed. I'm like, is it Harmony? Because we still don't know. I'm like, are you talking to Mark? Like, my money's on Harmony or Mark for some reason, I don't think it's Ragabi. I don't think Ragabi knows what she's doing. It could be her too, but who knows? Um, but we have not Mark. We have Irving running to Bert. Well, not running. He's following him. He says, "I've been, keeping a watchful eye on you since you came and banged on my door that night. And caused a little rift within my relationship. We supposed to be vacationing." And he says that he was told that he got fired because he was intermingling, with somebody in the workforce. But they didn't say who it was. But since you're here, I'm going to assume it's you. We can get to the bottom of something and maybe talk a little bit. Want to come on down and have some dinner. Ashley, what do you think is going to
Yeah, I'm sticking still with Ragabi being on the payphone, but they sure do damn have a lot of erotic entanglements. When he said an erotic, I said, "Why are y'all throwing this erotic word in it every?"
Body, girl, it's here.
Girl, the peen tips touching, like the sword fights. Come on, and I mean that's what I'm saying. All they did was touch pinkies. Come on, my guy. But no, I thought it was interesting, and then finding out, Fields left me too behind it. You banging on the door fed right into that narrative. So he was like, "I'm out of here." Your Bert's up to no good. Any Bert is not outy Bert. I think. I mean, how long has this man been your husband and he walked out on you? You ready to get it back in blood or at least get to the bottom of the situation? And Irving is folding. Outie Irving's falling for it, just like Innie is. So it'll be interesting, but I don't think anything good is going to come from this.
Did you hear how he said it? He was like, "You want to rise?" Like, "No, I know where you live." Like, what?
I don't know. And then the way Bert was looking last time when he was following him, it's sinister. Something is not right. Irvin ended up tied up down in Bert's basement. I don't trust it 1 minute, 1 second.
I don't know, but just with how smart Irving is, even the revolutionary that was Irving, as in any, I think he has to be even smarter here, and Bert might be in for it. I should hope that he ain't out here falling for these Christopher Walken charms, whatever.
Baby, he looked like he ready to fold. He looked like he ready to fold up like a lawn chair. If Bert breathe on him.
Oh Lord, let's not do that. Let's not trust him. But I do. So you still think it's Ragabi on the other end of this phone?
I do.
I'm
Because Harmony, because for me, it's like Harmony doesn't want to take down Lumen. I still think she's got work to do with Lumen. I still, for whatever reason, think that she believes still so much in Lumen. I don't know. I can't get past that. And Irvin wants to bring down the center of it, I feel like.
What does that have to do with Mark? It was just so much time of her trying to integrate Mark's life. Like, I need to be next to him because he matters so much as the Cold Harbor or whatever. Like, what were you trying to interfere with? Because for a bulk of that first season, she was moving on her own accord. And it was like, Harmony, who told you to go do that? We didn't license that. It's like, I did it on my own. If she was that committed to Lumen, you would think she would be following stuff to a T. I think she has her own agenda. I think she's on the phone. But we gonna see who's on the phone. Cause and then Harmony's weird as hell. We just gotta see. We gotta see. She might be over there, didn't she? I already don't like Helly. She's like, "I know what you about. You trying to be over there hunching on Mark."
That's exactly it.
We don't know. But yeah. Nat, really? Nat my ass. I don't Nat, we got nicknames now. And maybe this could be a Trojan horse. We have Ricken tailoring his text according to Lumen. He's about to follow through with it. He said pretty much they're gonna pay me a Q coin to tailor this, and I have to, bypass my own integrity as a writer. I love how they acting like this book is just so good and so deep. I'm gonna do that, babe. Like, this is for us. Nat said, she's like, "Oh, Nat, we're all familiar now." Like, as harsh as we know Lumen to be, and all the negative things that they're doing to people, the fact that you want to stand by them just for whatever, okay, fine, you go ahead and do that by yourself. But he says that this could be a Trojan horse, and I was like, will Devin convince him otherwise? Like, will he try to do something subtle with the text to enlighten, like maybe have Lumen thinking, oh, he's giving us what we want, but then by the time there's maybe some subtle inner things woven into the text to maybe enlighten the people in Lumen. Because what else? Like, what do you mean it could be a? Because the name of the episode was Trojan Horse, and he's the only one who says it here. So I was like, does this mean anything pivotal? But I was like, is he gonna do something with Devin and get into this text? Because I think we all have been on the cusp of Ricken getting down with Lumen and being just as dirty as they come. Like you gonna get with it and be kicking over there with Natalie. But maybe he'll change his mind at the whim of Devin kind of enlightening him to what this is, because she still hasn't shared the plan with him as far as what she's trying to do over there with Brother Mark.
She would never change his mind. Ricken is like the basest of all basest people. Like, I think his desires are purely ego driven. Like, he's ruled by ego in my mind. And so unless she is like his ghostwriter or decides that she's gonna sneak some stuff in the scripture, in the text, without his knowledge, maybe she does the edit and put stuff in there. But if she, and this is why I say that, because if you don't trust your husband enough to share this stuff with him, he can't be trusted. So no, I think the money, the fame, the idea, he said this could financially change our lives. Yeah, no, he gonna do exactly what them people say. She's gonna have to sneak it in some kind of way.
Well, okay. I just was laughing. She was like, "Oh, Nat, is it? Oh, okay, y'all on a cute little nickname basis. That's where we at." Because he liked Nat smiling all up in his face those other episodes. But ending off the episode, here comes Gemma. We have some more glitching happen, and I don't know if he was holding Gemma's ashes or what that was, because it said cremated on. I was like, what are you holding? What did they? Clearly, somebody's lied, and this has been a setup from the beginning, because she could have been cremated if she's standing right here. But she is kind of speaking to him from the beyond, kind of getting it. She's like, I can hear my wife, and you can kind of see the reintegration happening, and he has this enlightened moment to where it's like she's really alive. It's like y'all said it, but just for me to hear her voice and kind of see her here in real time, it's like I'm seeing my wife for the first time all over again, and he's crying. It just felt like a really special moment for Mark. But she says a whole lot of nothing for me. I wasn't getting into all that nothing. But as it's cutting off, she says, your Audi will what? Will be what? What, Gemma? Girl, leave us in suspense. Your Audi will be what? But actually, what did you think about this? Because I think this was the moment for me that the reintegration really happened, and you kind of see the back and forth, and it's just like, oh, this is the long white hallways, and oh, that's my wife. I hear my wife. I see my wife. Looks at him. Your Audi will be cut. Be what?
Girl, I don't know. This show confuses me, and I'd be like, am I smart enough to even be over
I'm
here
smart
talking
as a
about?
fifth grader.
Listen, am I smarter than a fifth grader? I think what we're actually going to get to, though, and I do this cemented the fact that the reintegration is semi-complete, right? And that we are fully aware. But what I think we're going to discover about Mark is that this pain that his Audi has been living in, this perceived grief, I don't think it's really been about Gemma for a very long time. So I think we will get a new Mark when he fully gets to interact with the real Gemma in real time, because I kind of think he made his grief his whole life. I think that's where he went into this space of, because I mean, for 8 years you're still grieving this woman, yet like Irving said, when you're on this retreat, you cheesing in Helly's face and bumping uglies and didn't give a damn about your wife, which is the whole reason you were supposed to be on this quest anyway. I don't think it's ever really been about Gemma. I don't know if it's about maybe the attention that he got, or just that he made his grief his master. You know what I mean? So I'll definitely be really interested, because I don't think it's going to be all what we think, or even what he thinks it's going to be when they officially do reunite. I did think it was interesting. We're hearing all of Gemma's, well, Mark, your Audi is so and so and so and so and so and so, and we hear those words over and over again. But I mean, I'm interested to see. I'm here for Gemma. I want to hear from the real Gemma.
Yeah.
At some point before the season's over.
We haven't had one flashback. Normally when they want you to have stock and investment in a relationship, and the way we were to really get into Mark's state as an Audi and the depression of it all, you flash back and you get to see just how content and happy they were and them at their peak and brightest moments. We have never seen that. All we've seen are photos. So it's like, and Mark just don't get it. Mark don't give like my man, my man, my man.
Man.
Mark is a special kind of guy, but you can't tell, like, is that just, due to depression and the loss of the wife, or were you ever that great, Mark? Like, but I just thought it was a choice that we've never seen that, but we hear him and his version of, oh, Jimmy was perfect. She was the best, and she was and like, okay, why can't we see it? I just feel like that's always been a choice. But with her saying it, and how she would do it when they had those wellness little meetings, your Audi is your Audi's. When she said your Audi will be. Like, the future will be what? Like,
they saying in the comments, a father. You about to be a father, a daddy.
but how would she know that?
Maybe she's a psychic. Maybe she's a prophet. Maybe she got a power, honey, Miss Casey. Maybe Miss Casey got powers. She got the sight.
How would you know that? Like, we're gonna see. When it cut off, I was like, oh, here we go. Y'all can't never give me a sense of completion. I always gotta leave somebody in suspense, but I guess that's the point of the show.
That's the point.
But we've been speaking on her being, well, not her, but Helly possibly being pregnant. Maybe she's in on or have knowledge to the Cold Harbor situation, and that being the intent all along. So it could definitely be father. They cut it off. I guess we'll get there when we get there. As if we would ever have any. But Ashley, predictions for the next episode?
Nothing. I do hope that we get to see the real Mark finally. Like, if this reintegration really happened and the two sides of his consciousness meet, his innie and outie converge, I'm interested to see what personality Mark is going to have, because we've seen him on both ends of the spectrum. I'm very curious about that. I want Helena to take over Helly again in the next episode. And I'm ready for Harmony to make her re-entrance. I'm ready for her to make her re-entrance. I've missed Miss Arquette in the building. And I want to see what Bert's gonna do with Irving. I don't think it's gonna be a good thing. I don't think it's gonna be good, y'all.
No, nothing good can come from Bert. That's absolutely convincing. I don't got nothing. Nothing. Like, I don't know. I legitimately don't know, because this doesn't go in any chronological order. If that was the case, we would have gotten like, all right, we left off last episode with Irving, and now we're gonna start off with Irving realizing that it's like it could go in any direction. Like, we could be catching up with Harmony for all we know. So I really don't have any predictions. I would just love to just get the ball rolling. I'll say that.
Hurry up. We've only got a couple more episodes.
I would love to really get to maybe not even just Cold Harbor, but I want us to get down them steps, down the elevator, down the hallway. I want to see some more of Lumen. I want to see some different floors. It was really, I think the highlights of the season so far is when we got to see other places outside of the office, when we saw, the hill and the sheep and the goats and the herders and the debauchery that was over there. Because they look like those were animals, those were savages. Or, when we got, last episode, we got to go out and be in a completely different element. I would like to explore some more and just really finally have Mark, what I think we're getting, have this fish out of water situation. I've been waiting on how long it's going to take for us to get reintegrated. So now that we're here, I think we can finally have him do something interesting, because I swear outie Mark does nothing.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. He's so dry. Like I said, he's obsessed with his grief, or whatever it is, in depression. Like, because why aren't you on medication by now? Like, I don't understand outie Mark at all. But Devin does. The sister does. And that was interesting, too, when she was like, so have you burnt it into your retinas yet? He's like, nah, it's not. You co-sign this? This is your king, ma'am? Come on, Devin.
Man. But y'all, we are about to get ready to get up out of here. Be sure to leave your comments and thoughts about your predictions, because y'all may have some where we don't, what you think. Maybe it'll just happen in the show, if not so much just the next episode. I just want Harmony to come in there and for Milchick to just be like, oh no, you didn't. I'm ready. After all I've done for this company, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for Milchick. I would be here for that. But Ashley, anything you want to tell the people before we exit?
Just make sure that if you're a member that you are in the Discord tonight as well as on the YT to watch Boomerang with Eddie Murphy tonight. Don't forget Mondays, Mayfair is back, child. Tuesday nights, we do a Married at First Sight watch along. We do an official Maths Live on Wednesday. And Thursday is a Black History Month watch along. We'll be watching Daughters of the Dust. So make sure you're there and make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell because you never know when we're dropping something. You know what I mean? So just be in the know.
Yeah. I dropped my Dorothy Dandridge video, which did a whole lot of nothing. So if you guys could go and watch that one for me and leave a comment as far as what you think and your memories of Miss Dorothy, that would be nice. I love the disclaimer that Ashley gives every time you mention like Mayfair's Monday. Just disclaimer into that's coming back. Be sure you're there.
Just be sure. Y'all, listen.
Be sure you're there for that. But we would definitely be giving you guys some more content. And just in case you didn't know, I'm going to close us out with the Black History schedule for the month. And we will see you guys next Severance Saturday. Members, get over there in the Discord. We'll be there shortly. Y'all have a good night.
And I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blickety black, 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 black.